How's it going, everybody? Goldhat here, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be entry 24 of my Mafia Definitive Edition Achievement Walkthrough Guide. In this entry, we are going to be focusing on the Dime Detective Collectibles. There's going to be 20 throughout the game. We are going to point them all out for you. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. So real quick, if you do not know this, at the main menu, if you go to story, after you've beaten the game, you can chapter replay, and this is how we're going to get to those missions and get all those closed off collectibles of the Dime Detectives. So I just want to show you that real quick so you know how to go to your chapters. The first two are going to be free rides. We can grab them in the free ride concept of the game where it's an open world and we can just drive around. The first one's going to be in the armory, and it's going to be right behind Vinny. It's going to be right here on the desk, and we're just going to come over here and pick that up. And this is going to count for our first Dime Detective collectible. Next up, we can grab this in a free ride, and it is going to be at the top right of our map, and it's going to be right down here in the motel. Once we pull up here, we're going to jump out and we are going to run to the right side of the building out in the backyard, and we are going to find this second Dime Detective on the wood pile right here. So the rest of these I'm going to show you in the order of appearance they will play out through the campaign. So our next one is going to be the third one, and that's going to be in chapter 5. And right after we pick up the security guard and take him down to the car, we can just run past him real quick, and we want to come over here to the left, and at the very end in one of these little booths we are going to find our third Dime Detective. I'm going to show you where it is on the map right now, but if we do a free ride, we're not able to access this area, so you want to go to chapter select, and once you get all the way back here, we will find our third Dime Detective. Next up is going to be in chapter 7, and that is Better Get Used to It. Right after we talk to this guy with Polly, we're going to walk through this other room, and this is in Chinatown. I'll show you it on the map real quick. And once we walk through this other room, we are going to find it right on the right on this couch.
Bro, it'll be next week. Just sit tight.
And that's going to be right over here. And it'll be right there. So next up is going to be chapter 8, the Saint and the Sinner, and there's going to be 3 different Dime Detectives through this mission. So after you grab it, don't restart because there's going to be 2 more. So we will have 3 in total in this mission. This is going to be where we start out. This is going to be the brothel. Right when we walk in, we're just going to head over here to the right and go into one of the offices, and we will find our 5th Dime Detective collectible. So right after we kill the manager and we get to the rooftops to make our escape, after we kill those cops and we come to the end of the rooftop where we're going to throw that ladder across, we want to come to the very end, and over here on the right we are going to find our 6th Dime Detective collectible. And right over here is going to be that ladder, so we want to come all the way to the end. And for the last one in the Saint and the Sinner, it's going to be right here where we start the shootout in the church, and it's going to be right over here on the right from that booth we're going to start at, and I'm going to shoot at it one more time just so you can see, and it will be right there. Next up is going to be in chapter 9, A Trip to the Country. So right after investigating that truck and having that little ambush shootout, we are going to come up here to the left, and then we are going to go straight ahead into this barn, and we will find it in the very back. And right through this door on the bottom right on this shelf, we will find our 8th Dime Detective. So next up, it's super easy. It's in chapter 10. Right after we talk to the Don on that cutscene, we are going to come right over here where we're going to pick up our new car, but we are going to come over here to the right and we will find a Dime Detective number 9. It's going to be right here. So next up is going to be chapter 11, visiting rich people. We are going to find this one right after killing those guys in the backyard through that maze, and we kick in this door. He's going to look behind that picture and we will mosey our way through this house and grab our 10th dime detective. So one more time, a point of interest. This is the pond in the backyard. We are going to come over here to the left, go through this door. We're going to go past that first one, and we're going to go into the second one. And right over here on the left is going to be our 10th dime detective. Next up is going to be in chapter 12, Great Deal. We are going to do this one right after we escort our truck down from getting that shootout from the guys from Kentucky, getting that moonshine. Once we get down to the toll booth, it's going to be right by the entrance. We are going to find our 11th dime detective. Next up is going to be chapter 14, Happy Birthday. There is going to be 2 dime detectives in this chapter, so right before we meet Sam right over here to get that sailor's outfit, over here on the left we will find our first one. It's going to be right up these stairs on this desk. And the second one for chapter 14, it is going to be right after we get that gun and we go to get that vantage point. We are going to make our way all the way up to the top, and once we get there, we're going to hang a left and we will find our 13th dime detective. And it'll be right around this corner right here. Next up is going to be chapter 15, You Lucky. Right after planting that bomb and blowing up that woman and coming to this diner to help them with the shootout, we are going to find this one in the booth. Next up is going to be in chapter 16, Creme de la Creme. It's going to be in this airport hangar. Right after we follow him all the way to the airport, we're going to have a couple gunfights. Right when we get into this hangar, we are going to find it right out in the open on these boxes. So for this next part, there are going to be 2 in chapter 17, Election Campaign. Once we get into the prison, we're going to run up all these steps. We're going to have a couple guys we got to fight off, and we are going to open up an electricity box, and that is going to let those cells open, and we will find our first one for the Election Campaign. And we're just going to come up to this power box that says cells. We're going to flip that real quick, and the third one down is going to have our 16th dime detective in it. And through this chapter, we're going to the guard tower. Right when we get to the door that says guard tower, we want to stop real quick, and we are just going to flip around, and we are going to go over here to the right, make a left, and right on this desk on the right is going to be our 17th dime detective. For our next one is going to be in chapter 18, just for relaxation. So once we get to this room where we are going to find those shipping crates, we're going to come over here, we're going to kill this cop real quick, and we will find dime detective number 18. And right after we kill this cop, we're going to go out of this room, we're going to take a left, we're going to go into the next room, and it will be on a desk. Next up is going to be chapter 19, Moonlighting. It's going to be right at the beginning of the mission. We're going to go up these stairs right at the bank robbery, and we are going to come over here to this first office, and we will find it on an office desk. And it will be right through here. Right on the desk, right here. So for our last dime detective, and that's going to be 20 out of 20, we are going to find it at chapter 20, The Death of Art. It's going to be right at the beginning. It's going to be in the house. We're just going to flip around. We're going to go into the living room, and it will be on this little coffee desk right here. And that is going to be 20 for 20 of the dime detectives. So as always, I hope this walkthrough guide has been super helpful. If it has been, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions at any time, you can drop a comment down below, or you can hit up my Instagram and hit me up personally, and the link is in the description box, and I will see you guys next time. Gold Hat signing off.